And we're good. We're
And we are
professionals.
live.
For the second time tonight. Not really. We got actually a lot of topics this week. To do this before 9 p.m. is going to be impossible.
Yes, probably so.
Because we got a lot of topics here that I have a lot of opinions on.
Starting off with Apple and their MagSafe wallet and some other accessories. The best gifts for the PC gamer in your life.
It seems
We'll
like
be reading
it's
it
a
over with
sales
you.
article, but it's written for techies.
Okay,
It's weird.
gotcha.
Thanks, Engadget. Oh, you added this one in there. The best VR
Yeah, I
headset.
added that one in.
I want to guess it before you tell it to me when we get down to this topic.
Okay,
I think I
yep,
know
the
it.
best VR headsets for 2020. Thought that went well with the best gifts.
Oh, yeah. And then it can even go well with, we might move topic 6 up. But then we have reviews that are finally coming in from Starlink. We're getting the reviews from space. Or
So
just,
if you want to get me a Christmas gift, Starlink. No, just kidding.
I'll buy you the company.
Sweet.
I think Elon has a promo code for his company. And then I put in this great topic. Microsoft thinks Edge is growing, but I'm not quite sure if it is growing or if it's just forced compliance.
Yeah.
It's enforced compliance. This topic I'm going to talk a lot about probably. The You Are
Okay.
Unique and VR Knows. So some Stanford guys figured out how to make VR know what user is playing simply by the way you move. It's pretty interesting. And then we got... Ooh, what is that? You put so many in. The steps Wikipedia has taken before Election Day.
Yeah.
Guessing from the link, it's about misinformation.
Yeah.
That is a lot of steps.
Yeah.
And then AI fail of the week.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
All right.
Kind of
Eh.
funny. Not like hilarious, haha funny, but just kind of
Oh, I'm
interesting.
going to break the chair laughing funny. And then I threw in one quick topic. Looks like you also got in a quick topic. Mostly it's going to be if we don't have much to talk about. But we
Okay.
do, because this Apple MagSafe is quite hysterical.
Am I going to fall out of my chair laughing or, just interesting, funny?
Oh, you're going to not only fall out of your chair, but your wallet is going to fall out of your pocket.
Oh. I have a magnetic charger too, so I hope that doesn't interfere with it.
So this is there's two different articles. One's from Mac Rumors and it talks about Apple's Mag Wallet, and then the second article is from The Verge talking about some accessories for the MagSafe lock. We're gonna open up the both. So there's this quick video here showing. So the new iPhone 12 has a mag lock on the back, so it looks like you can add attachments onto the back of it, which is interesting. It's cool. Like, I know on the iPad Pro, there's a magnet on top, so you can stick the Apple Pencil on it, and it stays on the iPad. So, like, it sounds like a good idea. And when we look at the Verge article, it shows some good applications. But this is an official, I believe, Apple wallet. Yeah. The $59 iPhone leather wallet. And then this video here shows exactly how it works. So it snaps on, like snaps right into place, and then you have a little tiny leather wallet that can hold 3 cards. So it works for some people who only need like their license and a credit card and a Wendy's coupon or something. So it works pretty slim, and there is definitely some magnetic pull from this video. So when he pops it on, it definitely just, like, you can see it force itself and click into place, and then it's on. But then he shows putting it in his pocket, and this is hysterical.
Oof.
I believe he does it several times. Oh, so that time it stayed inside of his pocket. So the magnet's not quite strong.
Oh, so he pulled the phone out of his pocket, but the magnet stayed in his pocket. Gotcha.
Yeah, so sometimes it stays, sometimes it doesn't. And so, my question is, are you willing to risk this part with it falling on the floor and you walking away?
There, he dropped his phone.
That's actually the wallet popping off of it.
Oh, that was? Okay.
Yeah, so his phone's orange and the case is black. And it pops right off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like, like...
I wouldn't use that because I usually carry around a little bit of cash for if I need it.
Yeah, like there's no way I could use it. Actually, that's mine.
Usually for my wallet, I just have the bills around my cards with a rubber band around it. So,
okay, yeah.
To be honest, this actually kind of sounds like something that I would use. Now, I wouldn't go out and buy it because
it's not worth $59.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd rather just carry the $59 in cash around with me.
Yeah, I think I paid $6 for mine.
One thing that's... Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to move on to the next part of this.
One thing that's kind of interesting, I wonder how the magnet affects the credit cards. Because, you know, the strip on the back of your card is magnetic.
Yeah.
You know, the card readers sense that is actually magnetic. And I've heard that they can be
demagnetized,
messed up by, being close to magnets. So, be interested to see kind of long-term
how it all works out.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably the magnet is not strong enough to really affect your card. I'm sure they would have thought this through before, you know, designing and selling it.
But you say they should have thought
never know.
And then you see this video with it falling off.
Yeah, that's true.
And so when I saw this article, I had to look on The Verge and found this one. Moment, which apparently is a company that exists, announces MagSafe compatible iPhone 12 cases and mounts. And the cool part about this is it's showing like a tripod mount that the iPhone sits on with a MagSafe, and then a light and a camera. Not a camera, a microphone. It looks like, but different types of accessories that take advantage of mounting through the MagSafe rather than some type of pinch design that pinches the phone. Oh, here's a picture here. So yeah, tripod mount, cold shoe mount, whatever that is, wall mount, car vent mount. That's a pretty neat idea. And then a multi-threaded mount. I could see the car one being really useful, having the magnet built into it. But the phone would also need wireless charging for me to actually like it.
True, because for you to use that, you would have to be giving up your wireless charging. Yeah.
But then
obviously I have an iPhone, but
right. And then like I have wireless charging both in the car and on the bike. It is a lifesaver. I love getting into the car with a low battery, driving 20 minutes, and my battery is like 70%. It's beautiful having quick charge. But I almost think that this company used an Apple feature better than Apple used an Apple feature.
Yeah, it seems to be more of an applicable use that people would actually find helpful in their everyday lives.
But I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I like to see more magnetic magic. It's definitely innovative, which is probably not the right word, but to see something new happening with a phone. And I still hate the fact that there's Lightning and USB Type-C when we can all just have MagSafe styled chargers where there's just like 4 contact points and magnets to hold it. There's no reason one plug needs to insert into another aside from breaking.
And actually, it's funny you mentioned that because
you do that, don't
like
you?
Totally off topic. What's that?
You do that, don't you?
For charging?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have wireless charging, but hold on one second. Where's that? Here it is.
I think I've
this headset here.
Yeah.
I used to have a magnetic USB cable that you could just magnet it up to it to charge.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I disconnected it, and the micro USB port actually got worn out on the headset because of the repeated plugging in to charge and unplugging.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The actual
port.
female port got messed up on the headset rather than on the USB cable. So I'm gonna have to either take this bad boy apart, see if I can fix it, or I think it's too old for any kind of warranty. But
I'm gonna pull this up.
yeah, I wish I had used the magnetic port for that.
I feel like it was you. It might have been you. That was using these at one point.
Yeah, it probably was. The little circle USB.
Yeah, so we had talked about something
cables.
Like this is safe. Something like these, where
Yeah,
it gives you.
that's actually what I have right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably not
I can
focused
pull it
in,
up,
but it's a little circle.
okay, yeah.
And
And-
then my headset, here, I'm going to take my headset off so I can't hear you. But the headset has the other side right there.
Okay, yeah. And I like the fact. Oh, you can't hear me.
Right
Yeah.
there, and it just magnets together. But that way it doesn't wear out the USB, the micro USB port.
Yeah, I was saying that I really like the way that one's designed, where it's a circle magnet,
Mm-hmm.
opposed to these that I have on the screen that are
Yes.
elongated, because your circle can literally connect any direction, while these,
Yep.
even though it's magnet and it will pull to the right direction, it's one less thing that could go wrong.
But there's one big negative for this thing being a circle, and that's that it only has 2 contact points. So it has a center point in the middle, and
Yep.
then an outer point on the outside. So it's just got the 2 contact points. Whereas for USB, you need 4. So it can only charge, but it can't do data.
Oh,
So like if I were to plug
okay.
one in into my computer, I couldn't transfer stuff from, I don't know, a USB stick, or I couldn't transfer something from my phone to the computer. I could charge my phone from the computer, but I couldn't transfer data over that cable. So
I'm about to make the crudest drawing.
okay.
So there's your circle charging port, right?
Yep.
Can you not
I'm sure
do
you could use more rings, but
more rings? Like, and we're pretending those are all centered.
yeah, I think there's a little bit of play in the port, but yeah, for some reason mine just has the 2 contact points.
Yeah.
Just
So-
one in the center and one on the outside.
The only thing I see about if there's so many rings like this would be when
Mhm.
you're putting them together to magnetize them, would be that
Yeah.
maybe one of these
Like some
rings
kind of
will
short
cross
circuit.
and short.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be easily avoided by doing layered. So if you turn this 90 degrees, you have like your tip up here and then your next layer. And so like the cord side would be layered out and then your phone side would be layered in. So it's not port sense. It's like
Oh,
that'll be
gotcha. I
one
see what
ring
you're
there,
saying,
one
yeah.
ring there.
So this is the picture on the right is kind of like a side view
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Almost
is
like a volcano, you know.
yeah. Yeah, so the end of the cord which would have this connector, it would just be almost like a TP or a pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be a easily integratable design that would work.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might cost too much to make a circle.
Or it might be that the one point on these cables has a little bit of a spring to it, I guess, for more surface contact. So it may be that they wouldn't be able to get all the layers to kind of line up and all have enough contact to transfer data or something.
Okay, that can make sense.
I also think it charges a lot slower than a normal charging cable, but you know,
It's hard to test too.
yeah, right. It's either way, it's better than wearing out your micro USB port.
Right. Unless you're a professional solderer, which thankfully you are.
Hey, a little about professional, but
Speaking of not professional,
yeah.
this article, man, I am so glad that you read it, so I didn't have to.
Oh. This seems
So look at that
completely
scroll
unrelated to
bar.
the title.
On the right side,
What am I looking at?
that little scroll bar on the right side of the screen for this article.
Oh, yeah, it's very long.
It's crazy long. So this is over on Engadget, and it's the best gifts for the PC gamer in your life. Everything you need to know before buying and gifting peripherals. So when I read this, I thought this was going to be telling the moms, the dads, the grandmas of the world, like,
Yeah,
if you have a techie person in your life, here's what's hot for the techs.
like 5 items with a link to the Amazon page.
Yep.
Right? That's kind of what I expected going.
And then in the picture, it kind of depicts that. You got the Stream Deck Mini, you got a Corsair keyboard. It's definitely one of our nicer ones because it has that scroll thing. I've seen it before. And then some Logitech mouse. I have no idea which one it is.
Yep.
But then you start going down this article. I get lost. So like, number 1, gaming keyboards. And then it talks about the switches. It talks about the design and extras. And then it gives you a couple best keyboards with a price tag. And it does this for, I think, like most of the peripherals. So, but then like if your gaming mouse, it tells you about the grip styles, the buttons, switches, sensitivity, and tracking. The whatever that word is, dexterality. See, I'm
Yeah.
computer guy, don't understand some of this. And then best gaming mice, and it shows a couple gaming mice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit more in depth in terms of each peripheral than I would have expected for a list of things to buy.
It is
This could almost be an article about everything you need to know about gaming keyboards.
right. This is an introduction to becoming a gamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I would like to see, I think would be really neat, and this would, I think, help out with a lot of the non-techie people trying to buy for techie people, is it almost a questionnaire. So it's, what does your, like, if your techie person likes to live stream, do they have a microphone? Yes, no. Like, but does it sound good? Do they like it? And then you can kind of guide that away.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, well, it sounds like the techie person in your life would best benefit from a new mouse or something. But then the big problem is, like, stuff like mice and keyboard are pretty subjective.
Yeah.
Like, I've been using this Logitech G700S since 2012. This is my second one for this computer, actually. Logitech fulfilled my warranty.
Really?
Because it died within 3 years on a 3-year warranty. It was beautiful.
Nice.
So, thank you, Logitech.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot of personal preference into what kind of mouse you want, what feels good in each person's hand.
Yeah. But then, like, this mouse is huge for most people. But I like it because my fingers sit flat when I use my mouse. And I wish I could find the price for what I bought it.
Yeah.
Looking on price history, $65 looks like the chance of what I paid for it. Right now on Amazon, they are going for $338. Don't buy one.
Whoa.
You can buy one used for $190.
Wow, you need to sell that and buy a different mouse.
No, there's not a chance, man. This mouse is worth $338 to me. If it broke, I would probably buy another one.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I use the G700S here at the house, but then at where I work, I use a $7 Chinese mouse knockoff.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Just like some from Walmart, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not sitting there constantly moving my mouse back and forth. The chances are, I click move, find a link, I pull my hand off the mouse, and then I read whatever I need to read, or watch the teardown video, or follow the instructions on command prompt. And then I don't have that thing where, like, here I'm sitting and I continuously hold my mouse. And so after 3 hours, my hand doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You also use a mechanical keyboard, don't you?
I do have a mechanical keyboard.
Your Cherry Blue.
I don't even know what switches they are. Blue sounds right.
Because they're clacky.
But they could,
so they
be
could be
red. Yeah.
I was actually talking to someone about this a couple weeks ago, because someone they knew wanted to upgrade their computer to keep up with games. They said that it was just falling behind. So I was like, all right, well, what do they use? Because sometimes it's not like always the computer's fault. Sometimes it's like, oh, this person doesn't have the right mouse or the right keyboard or the right monitor, and so it hurts their eyes. Then they get aggravated because now their head hurts because they're losing and they have a headache. So maybe they need a new monitor. And I was actually looking at buying all the different key types, because Cherry makes those different key types, and so like you can try out
just the switch, right?
Yeah. So you can try out the blue, the brown, the red, the white, the clear, and whatever other colors there are. And then I was like, didn't you just have to go into big box store and look at the monitor types and see the difference between the LCD panel and the IPS panel, and then realistically use the 14-day warranty. Buy a couple if you can. Try them out. 2 hours, it'll let you know if your eyes hate it or love it.
Yeah.
Really, you just got to sit there and figure out what your eyes and your hands like. And this is coming from a guy that uses the world's cheapest LCD panels right now with a $340 mouse.
Yeah, right?
I bought these screens at $30 a piece.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
That costs as much as my mouse.
All right. So this article, I can't open it, so I can't share it with the other people. But the best VR headset for 2020. Can I ask one question that will determine which one it is?
Sure.
Is it released now? Or is it going to be released in the next month? Because either you can pre-order it now and it will ship November, December, or it's already out. It's one of those two.
Well, they kind of have them broken down into different categories.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the best headset.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is kind of more what I expected the previous article with ideas for gifts to be like. It has a few different kind of categories that would fit for different people.
Okay.
Like depending on what you're looking for.
Well, that destroys my fun.
Yes. So I can go ahead and break down the categories. They've got the best standalone VR. They've got, well, I guess the best console VR. Best easy to set up PC VR. And then they have, this would probably be what I would consider the best. It's the best PC VR to explore the future of VR controllers. So kind of the best.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the actual best, not price wise, but the best.
Best performing?
Yeah. The most promising, I guess you could say, which you can probably guess which one that is.
Actually, one of the ones I was thinking is not even on this list. So the HP G2 that is on pre-order and is releasing now in December, that is going to be the best of 2020. That's going to be the highest performer.
Okay.
Like as in quality, not as in like the most FPS.
Okay, yeah.
And second place I would have given to Vive Pro as the best quality, which apparently
This
is also not on there.
article kind of gave it to the index, the Valve index.
Which I could see because a lot of people seem to like the index.
It's certainly expensive.
Right.
But yeah, then this article kind of breaks it down. The best standalone VR they list as the Oculus Quest 2, which would be good for people without a gaming PC. Just kind of simple to use. Costs $400 with nothing else needed. So if you're just looking for the simplest to set up.
Does the Quest 2 have a controller? I honestly don't know. Yes, it does.
Right?
Yeah, there's a picture with controllers. I was like, but it's like the only one in the list that's not pictured with its controller. So I was like, oh.
I guess I just kind of assumed it did, but the article didn't say anything about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then they've got the Sony PlayStation VR. So if you've already got a PlayStation 4, I mean,
yeah,
that's an option for you.
And it's a really good option if you already have a PlayStation and you want to just like try VR, because it's only $200. So you don't have to worry about, is my PC good enough? And then, is it worth risking, what their Oculus Quest 2, $400?
Or is it going to make me throw up?
Right, that's a big one.
Which actually, fun story, happened to me last week.
I still have a hard time believing it.
In a VR.
We're going to try it again, though.
Didn't sit right with me. Then they've got the Oculus Rift S, which is listed as the best easy to set up PC VR. And the reason for that is the room tracking is all built in via cameras in the headset, so you don't have to set up little sensor towers in the corner of the room like you do with the Vive.
Yeah. We got the Valve Index.
Yeah.
So their controllers, the knuckle controllers, are definitely by far the best controllers out at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly because of the individual finger tracking, individual finger buttons. It's only next generation when they all have this, and it becomes more normal.
Mm.
But yeah, that's a pretty good one. And then the HTC Vive Cosmos.
Kind of modular, I guess. Yeah.
I was actually looking today because I'm debating if it's worth the upgrade to the HP G2.
Okay.
And so I was looking at what I had bought mine. So I bought mine a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, at $450 used on eBay. Which I bet on like 60 of them. I spent like 2 weeks just betting on every single one I saw, and I finally got one.
What were they going for around that time? Like $600 or $700?
Around $600, yeah.
Okay.
And then all I've added is I've put on new face masks because a lot of people play it. So we got new face masks, new nose guards because we wore out the nose guards just through sweating through them.
Yeah.
We just got a new strap for the head. Like we just got face mask and straps Saturday. And then we made it wireless for $150.
Yes.
And that was the big one.
Well worth the upgrade.
Yes. So I would say, the $450 plus $150 wireless, that's $600, and I've spent $100 on masks at this point. So, it's a $700 headset. Still amazing. Mm-hmm. On eBay right now, they're still going for $400.
Wow.
And that's without the wireless
pretty good.
top. So I could probably sell this for $500. And it's like, okay, well, it's $200 for 2 years of usage, which isn't that bad of a deal. And then upgrade to the HP G2, which I think is $800. And I'm curious if I should, spend the extra couple $100 and upgrade.
Yeah.
It's 600.
So it would basically cost you $200 to upgrade.
Yeah.
Maybe even less after you sell all this stuff, like including the wireless adapter.
Yeah, and yeah, there's the link HP Reverb at G2, but it's all on pre-orders.
Gotcha.
But the only reason I'm even considering it is because they are partnered with Microsoft and Valve on the design, and I think simply having the Valve partnership is why I would consider it. So I am curious on continuing to see the first reviews and see if Valve actually had a say in it, or if HP was like, "Look what I made," and Valve's like, "Good job, kiddo." You should probably include 2 eye screens. Like, how much was that partnership with Valve?
Yeah. Is it just like a sticker slapped on, or did they actually consult them? And
Right.
yeah.
But no,
Speaking of this, go ahead.
Oh, I can't wait for the continuing of VR.
Yeah. Some people don't believe, but I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of slapping a sticker on it, this video is sponsored by
Ooh.
J-Mart Media. Look at that. That could be a sticker, right?
That's really
And Nephew Tech.
This
That'd be a
sticker,
good sticker
would be much harder to put on anything. Yours is a much easier sticker to print and stick.
Just a circle, yeah.
Right.
You'd have to go around with a little razor blade and cut out all the letters and stuff for yours.
That'd be a mess.
But you know what's not a mess? Starlink.
No wires. Or some really long wires, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. Wires of the wireless variety.
They're invisible.
Yeah.
Over on Ars Technica, SpaceX Starlink users provide first impressions and unboxing pictures of their wireless wires. And then the subtitle is, "It feels like it's from the future, and I'm amazed at how well it works." Honestly, I think we're all amazed at how well this works. I didn't actually read this. I just thought some of these pictures were pretty cool. So it looks very simplistic.
Yeah, it does. Like, it doesn't look like that's a permanent mount or anything, which means that it's easy to set up. I'm sure you can attach it to a permanent mount too, but it looks moderately sized. It looks smaller than, say, a DirecTV satellite, but not small. I wouldn't call it small.
Yeah. I mean, it looks about the size of a window from sitting on this car. So it's like that big.
Yeah.
What would be interesting though is, because it kind of looks like a cheap mount that it's on now, is if it would have like an auto rotating type of sensor. So you'd like initialize and it would set up and it would just scan the whole all of its rotation, and then it would just measure what's the best signal and then meet it there. And then if the signal starts dropping, it'll try to move a little bit to find out where it can refine that good signal. And then if the signal falls too far, like it drops 20% or something, it'll just like rescan again if there's no usage or there's low usage or something, and try to rescan to see if it can find a better satellite. But I don't know how well that would work with motorized mounts out in the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to watch a video on this, because I feel almost like it's almost like it's necessary to have a moving mount, for it to really get its full effectiveness.
I wonder if it'd be worth the money. It's like you have a non-moving mount at like an entry $800 price or whatever, and then you can have the motorized fancy high-speed mounts at $2,000, and then you just have to know that like it has like a 5-year usage warranty on the motor or something.
And I know you kind of just made up that number, but you're not too far off.
Really?
There's actually a number down the article past the picture of the little router.
Oh,
it says the Starlink beta costs $99 a month plus $499 upfront for the user terminal, which is the satellite, the mounting tripod, and the router.
Okay. Yeah. That was pretty close, actually.
And yeah, that was pretty close. And this guy says he got 135 megabits per second down and 25 megabits per second upload in 21 milliseconds latency when the dish was placed in a ground level spot with limited obstruction.
That's pretty good numbers, honestly. Now, for $100 a month, it better be some rural. It better be some non-humanized areas.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive for those speeds, but definitely better than, the traditional satellite internet.
Right. That's way better than traditional satellite.
Yeah.
This is usable.
Yeah.
Because
you could watch this stream on it.
Yeah. I know some of the people, I've been to their house to work on the internet because they would complain about their internet speeds being so slow, and I would go out there and it'll be 0.6 down and 0.1 up, or 0.3 down, 0.1 up, and like there's no speed. I'm like, you can't do anything. Like, you can check your email, but in order to get to your email, you have to get the Yahoo homepage loaded, and to load the homepage to Yahoo, it takes like 2 minutes.
Was that satellite internet?
Yeah.
Traditional satellite internet?
Yeah, the garbage satellite internet. And so to see numbers of like this magnitude is pretty nice.
Yeah, and then down at the bottom, this article mentions the Starlink Reddit community, which has several resources for tracking beta progress, such as the list of user speed tests and a list of states where at least some people received beta invitations. And currently it says that those states are Idaho, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wisconsin. So actually, they are pretty rural areas.
One day I'll learn how to pronounce that word. It'll be magical. What would be interesting to see is if, like, I wouldn't say national parks because that's a government type thing here, but if vacation spots that are farther out in the nowheres, if they'd use it, or if cruise ships would add this, because then you could supply high-speed internet instead of this garbage internet that they give you.
Yeah, so you went on a cruise last year, right?
Yes.
How was the internet out there?
So, fun fact, the internet package was $10 a day, and you had to buy it for the full week. So you had to spend $50 because of a 5-day cruise. Okay. I was not about to spend $50 for 5 days worth of internet. I went an entire 5 days, no phone, no internet connection, no communication with the outside world. Fantastic. Several people did get it. It didn't work for the first 2 days.
And they still had to pay for it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then when it was working, it was garbage. It was...
Okay.
I can text real fast and find out, but I think it was like 10 down, 1 up. I think it was terrible. They were able to do like Snapchat messaging, Facebook messaging, and texting and stuff like that. But beyond that, I mean, I don't think that the experience was great.
So do you think they were using more traditional satellite internet for the cruise ship? Because I really can't think of any other
right
way that they could have been doing it.
A really long cable. It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would have to be satellite.
So this could be, yeah, this could help out the cruise ships or the people on the cruise
Yeah.
ships.
The people of the cruise ships, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would cost. I wonder if you could take this as a passenger onto the cruise ship.
I think we talked about an article.
Oh, you broke up. 1 second. You're gone. Yeah, we definitely talked about an article, though. Come back. Let's see. Oh, are you back?
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he said, let's talk about an article.
Yeah. I think a week or two ago we talked about an article, or maybe Elon Musk put something on Twitter saying that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep. Elon Musk here.
Saying that you would be able to use Starlink in a moving vehicle.
Okay. I can't remember that, but yeah. That'd be nice.
I can scroll back through. Which would mean that I guess you could use it on a cruise
But like,
ship.
I wonder if the cruise ship would allow it in their fine print to be transmitting signals of that strength out of the ship, because they could play the like it's for your safety that you're not shooting these types of signals out of the ship, but then like we're in U.S. sovereign waters for our cruise ship, like U.S. waters, so it should have been fine.
What's our next article?
The next article is, I wonder if he could use those satellites, shrink them down a little bit for more mobile people, so that they could have them in their vehicle or like on the back of their vehicle. So instead of using your cell service, you could just have like one family plan satellite service. So instead of paying for home Wi-Fi and cell phone service, you just be like, hey. I wonder if that would work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now that
I was trying to find that article about it being able to be used while it's moving, but I couldn't find it. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere else.
Yeah, but now it's becoming a real thing that real people are really using. It's awesome.
Yeah. We've had some proof of concepts, and SpaceX SpaceX employees had said, it's working.
It worked.
But now to actually have real people, third parties.
Third party's great. Speaking of good signs, looks like we may not be in a browser war with only 2 leading browsers anymore. It looks like Microsoft Edge is gaining some traction. So this is on 9to5google.com, and the title is Microsoft continues to gain an edge in the browser wars as it builds more market share. I like the word builds more market share, because what Microsoft is doing with Microsoft Edge and forcing it onto people's computers does not feel like building market share. I wonder if Microsoft truly believes that no advertising is, or there's no such thing as bad advertising. And they're like, no matter how hard we push it, nothing bad can happen. So down here, there's a little graph. Let's see, open image, a new tab. Little graph. Make it bigger. So it actually fits perfect on the screen capture. So we see edges, the dark blue. And then shockingly, there's no Chrome. Chrome's probably like way up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably wouldn't even be able to see Edge on the. Yeah.
Yeah, because these are all between like 2% down here, so that's 2.5% market share, up to 12.5% market share up top. So this line here is 10. And then you can see here this dark blue line being Edge. It surpasses Internet Explorer around this time last year, actually. The funny part is, if you look at the very end, actually, down here, Internet Explorer jumps way back up. But yeah, you see Edge finally takes over Firefox's market share. It looks like around the time pandemic hit the US.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened. It couldn't have possibly been the Windows update where it's jumped up again. So if you're thinking, man, Edge showed up on my computer again in the past month, you're part of this bubble.
Oh, wow, it's here again. How convenient.
Right? I've been looking for it. I don't remember what it was, but Google Chrome had like 70% or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's right there, kind of at the bottom of your screen. Chrome has 69%. Edge is the next
at 10.
place at 10%. Yeah.
Wild.
And then Internet Explorer 11 at 5%.
The worst part is the top 3 are all based on the Chromium engine.
Yeah.
But Google doesn't have a monopoly. I'm going to start working that into every show until it catches on. So that in normal conversations, and somebody mentions anything owned by Google, somebody will go, but Google's not a monopoly.
The catchphrase of 2020.
I think there's better ones out there for 2020.
Yeah.
This makes me so excited. This article is from Road to VR. But, you know, we don't think VR is going to make a difference in this world. It's a very dark website.
It's only a trend.
Right? It's only a trend.
It's only a fad, whatever they call it.
So Road to VR says, Stanford research shows VR users can be identified using only 5 minutes of motion data. The important part here, I think, is saying motion data. It's really easy to find out who's using VR if you got to use all the data, because there's like microphones and it could tell how tall you are. It's like you could tell simply who's playing me or my brother by the height. One of us is 12 feet taller than the other.
Yeah.
But using motion data, I haven't actually read this article yet. It seems super interesting. I'd assume it's taken all 3 inputs, the headset and the 2 controllers. But
so what this could allow you to do is set up your VR headset so that if it gets stolen, no one else can use it.
That is actually super smart.
No, I'm half kidding, but
that could totally work.
It could happen, yeah.
So it guessed at 95% accuracy when trained on less than 5 minutes of tracking data per person. So I assume when trained on less than 5 min of tracking data per person is 5 minutes of gameplay. So wearing the HTC Vive headset, which is what I have, and 2 Vive Wand controllers, which are just the normal controllers, participants watched 5 20-second clips from a randomized set of 360-degree videos and then answered questionnaires in VR. So it wasn't even really a VR experience that they were playing. It was just them reacting to a couple of 360-degree videos.
Okay.
And then whatever valence, I don't know what that word means, so don't hate me, internet. It looks like, so he watched a video and then he had to choose a rating 1 to 9, which is a weird number, but all right. But to be
So
able
he's
to
kind of just casually using the device. He's not even really getting into a
hardcore
lot of
playing,
merchants, it looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, one of the interesting things I find is going back to uh, our VR YouTube channel, where we just upload us playing VR games. We don't have
Yeah.
any camera on us. You only see what the person's eyes see. So there's no way to actually identify who's playing unless they talk.
Yeah.
Is I could tell which one of us is playing simply by how we play, because the way we look at things and what what weapon we might reach for first in a situation, you could tell which one of us plays. But so the big question would be, in this they obviously purposely like made something for people to be tested in, and they were collecting specific data, would be should games just have a checkbox to like submit my my motion data, voice data, all these other types of whatever data to enhance future gameplay for future game development stuff, and so people could figure out how to make people scared better, or not scared, but make better games. I'm thinking horror games.
Yeah, that was the game we played recently. One place I could definitely see game developers taking this is preventing account sharing.
That's super possible.
If they have a way to identify you versus your brother or someone else, then they could say, hey, only this person can play on this account, and this other person has to purchase the game for themselves in order to play.
Now, would that also make games cheaper, though? So instead of asking $60 for a AAA title, they might be $5, $10 per person.
If anything, it'll make it more expensive.
Okay. So, like...
I see what you're saying, but I don't know if...
Because eventually gaming is going to go subscription-based. So it's not even going to be $10 to play the game. It's going to be 50 cents for this playtime. And then you're just going to pay for like the minutes you spend in it or something.
Especially as things are moving more towards cloud gaming.
And it's all going to go there. It's unavoidable at this point. Like, one of the things, like, I would be willing, like, if it somehow benefited me immediately too, like a heart rate sensor or something. So I'd be willing to like wear a chest strap or something that had a heart rate sensor, and so games can monitor your heart rate and then change gameplay based on that. But then, like, because there's a microphone, it could also track breathing. It'd be super cool.
Yeah, and because the game that we're kind of referring to is a horror game, that would be extremely relevant to improving that game. Because you can see when people's heart rate elevate, what kind of things they're afraid of, and
And one of the benefits on that is that part of the gameplay is the characters who you're playing as have it's not insomnia, it's the other thing.
Sanity.
They have sanity levels. Those sanity levels can actually reflect based on your heart rate and your breathing patterns, and like even how shaky you are. So like if your hands and your arms are shaking, your sanity will plummet.
Yeah.
But so I would like be willing to wear like a heart monitor for like that type of research. But then I would want a separate checkbox so that, like, but you can't use it to identify me while
like can Steam use this data, or can the game developer use this data to improve their game? Yeah. Like, who is this data actually going to? And for what purpose? Yeah.
I would rather it be for what purpose rather than to who it's to. Because, like, Steam can have it if they're going to do it good with it, which Steam seems to be the good guy still. Right?
You jinxed it.
But then, like, most of the time, most of the games I own are small game developers at this point. No one can afford a $60 game. Don't be ridiculous. But
$400 headset, $13 game.
Yeah. Actually, it was only like $12.45. Yeah, it's pretty great. But yeah, I see this being a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Next up, and we may end up finishing on this topic.
Wow.
How Wikipedia is preparing for Election Day. I definitely think we should go over this one today because, Election Day's tomorrow.
Oh.
And this article is from Vox, so,
It's Fox.
it's Vox. But people have this idea of Wikipedia that, oh, anybody can edit stuff on Wikipedia. You can't trust anything you read on Wikipedia, blah, blah, blah. I, for one, disagree with that. Now, you should always read stuff on the internet or anywhere, or even people who tell you should take what they say with a grain of salt.
Books
and
are
use your
wrong
own
too.
logic and reasoning. Because the people writing news articles are just humans, just like us. The people writing Wikipedia articles are just humans, just like us. The people writing books are just humans, just like us.
And even the researchers that are
Yeah, and even
discovering
researchers.
facts.
But Wikipedia actually does take steps to prevent people, I guess,
Falsely adding.
yeah, adding false information to it. And so this article kind of goes over some of the steps they're going to be doing for Wikipedia pages related to the election that is tomorrow, because it's kind of a heated election with, yeah, our two primary candidates. And to be honest, I didn't read over a ton of it, but there's some talk about how the Wikipedia editors are having discussion boards talking about how it should be handled and all that stuff. Certain pages locked down and that kind of thing. And then Wikipedia itself also has a page titled Vandalism on Wikipedia, which I included a link to. And it goes over some different ways that Wikipedia prevents tampering with their pages and vandalizing their pages. So their first step is they have bots. Sometimes the vandalism can automatically be detected and reverted by a bot. There's also, they also have functionality built in to where any changes to Wikipedia get saved and previous versions are also saved. So if they ever need to revert back to a previous version of a page, they can easily do that.
One of the interesting things I see here too is it says for the candidates' Wikipedia pages, along with like their vice presidential candidates and such, only editors whose accounts are at least 30 days old and who have made at least 500 edits can change the article. And they are calling this the extended confirmed protection.
Yep. And this vandalism on Wikipedia page also mentions that a little bit. So some of the other steps they have the recent changes patrol. So Wikipedia has a page that lists all the most recent changes, so you can just kind of browse over the most recent changes. And if you're familiar with the topics, you can check it out and make sure that the change is legit. There's watch lists, so you can watch a Wikipedia page that you're interested in and be alerted when that page changes, so you can monitor the page for vandalism.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that one.
And then they have incidental discovery. If you're reading across a page that you notice vandalism, you can revert it or report it to be reverted. And then this is kind of what you were talking about. There's locking articles so that only certain users can, or even in some cases only administrators can edit pages. And it breaks it down into a few different categories. There's semi-protected articles. They can be edited only by those with an account that is auto-confirmed, which is at least 4 days old with at least 10 edits. Then there's fully protected articles, which can only be edited by administrators. And it looks like editors can go by and request that a page be protected or semi-protected. And then it sounds like what you were talking about with the, what did you call it, extended protection something?
Extended confirmed protection.
Okay. So it has to be an established account that has made actual legitimate edits on 500 pages before you can just go in and vandalize any of these certain pages. So I think that people overstate the unreliability of Wikipedia. And in most cases, Wikipedia will also provide sources to the statements that it makes at the very bottom of the page.
I've always found that all the time it cites its sources. Like, it's pretty hard to, like, find something and then it not be, like... I mean, it might be a crappy source. It might be a Vox article.
Mm-hmm.
But the edit usually has something to, like, point. Like, this is why I made the edit.
Okay, yeah.
One thing I'd be curious on, because I didn't know about the... What was it called? That marked page. So if there's an edit done to a page, people get notified.
The watch lists?
Yeah. That watch list idea,
Mm-hmm.
I think if Wikipedia was, like, suffering for needing people to, like, verify stuff, would be instead of every time you go to Wikipedia, they ask for $5 or $3 or $1 in donations, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you please sign up for an account? And then through tracking cookies, if they see that you're visiting certain types of Wikipedia pages, it'll start putting a pop-up instead of asking for $1, $3, or $5 to be like, would you watch this Wikipedia page? And so then chances are if you're visiting the page that much, you probably know something about that topic. Like, I have no idea about Roman horse armor or whatever. But if you ask me about Intel CPU, I could probably give you some type of answer.
Mm-hmm. So if Wikipedia detects that you're browsing Intel CPU pages and AMD pages and computer hardware pages, they can recommend that you watch certain pages. Yeah,
and so then when you load up a Wikipedia page, instead of it pulling up a pop-up asking for $1, $5, $10, whatever, it can also pop up and ask that. I'm still gonna hit the X, sorry, but I'd be willing to get an email notification like, this person made an edit saying that the LGA 1151 socket is superior to the 1150 socket because it has one more pin. Well, that's not the reason.
Yeah.
Nor is it, but okay. But I think they could get a lot more if they were struggling for people to check.
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic, I guess. But yeah, Wikipedia, I feel like, is one of the more truer. It's definitely better than Facebook if you're going to get your information from one of the two.
Yeah. And then even from news sources, seems like a lot of them have bias one way or the other. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the articles are just written by another human. Yeah.
I'm quite interested to see what this AI fail is.
Okay, yep. You want to go ahead and watch it now?
I am pulling it up.
Sweet. Oops, I clicked the wrong link.
We're going to get demonetized by playing this video, and I'm going to lose all the zeros of sense.
So this was a soccer game in kind of a minor league Scottish soccer league. And because of the virus and everything, everyone has to watch it from home. There's no spectators in the stands, but there's not a live person controlling the camera. So go ahead and play the video. They've got some kind of AI system set up to follow the soccer ball. But you can see it keeps kind of going to the soccer ball to look at the soccer ball, and then
going to this
referee's head because his bald head was shiny, and the AI thought it was the soccer ball. So everybody watching the game online just saw this view switching from the soccer ball to the guy's head.
So one of the interesting. Why can't they have cameramen?
They don't have a camera. They could, but
not
they
socially distanced enough. It must be me being a computer guy, but I would not trust an AI with this type of job.
They might not do it again.
I
It
wonder.
didn't say why they don't have a cameraman, but it must. I would assume it must be they don't want to pay someone to run the camera.
I'm sure this was way cheaper in the end for them. I wonder if someone got fired over this.
To be honest, I wonder how many people actually watch this game online.
Okay, that could be true.
But yeah, I just saw that in the Google Technology News and thought it was kind of funny. Epic AI fail.
That's pretty neat, though. We could do
those next topics on to next week.
Yeah, because they're not really that important. Next week. And on that note, I think we're ending this stream.
We'll tech about it next week.
We're going to tech about